got no heart. Metal Magic calls it corporate art. They used to make legends, now they just restart. Selling out souls like a cheap shopping cart. EA chasing dollars, no time for dreams. Ubisoft drowning in microtransaction schemes. Was a time laid aim for the stars it seems. Now it's just cash flow and broken teams. Kings of pixels, falling from grace. Talking real passion, lost in the race. We remember golden days they can't replace. Game worlds turn bland, a big disgrace. Screen filled with blue. Metal Magic nods, it's nothing new. Once were visionaries, now all they do skew. Creativity drained in a corporate brew. Yeah. EA once proud, now crippled by greed. Ubisoft spirit nowhere to be seen. Used to be giants, now fall on their knees. Forgot the gamers and what they need. What they need. Harmonies broken, melodies dead. What's the future for the paths we tread? Need new sparks, fire reborn instead. Revive the magic or cut the thread.
Obviously, Metal. How are you, mate?
Oh, you know me, fantastic.
Nice. Oh, mate, it's been a long day of work, I must admit. Right, so obviously, today's podcast is going to consist of the downfall of EA and Ubisoft. I think we should start it off quite on a positive. Let's start it off on a positive.
Yeah, why
So,
not?
yeah, so should we talk about EA first, or should we talk about Ubisoft first?
I think we could do
What are you feeling?
Ubisoft, I think.
Yeah?
Mm.
Yeah? Okay. So, obviously, with Ubisoft, they have made quite a lot of good games, especially back in the day.
Yeah.
So obviously, they made Assassin's Creed. Obviously, the early Assassin's Creeds are my favorites.
Yeah.
They had Rainbow Six. But also, a lot of people, when they think of Rainbow Six, they automatically think of Rainbow Six Siege.
Siege, yeah.
But like when I think of Rainbow Six, I always think of Rainbow Six, Rainbow Six 2, Rainbow Six 3. They were fantastic games.
Yeah.
Because they were on, if I can remember, I think Rainbow Six 3 was on the original Xbox back in the day, I believe.
Yeah, and I suppose like Vegas, like,
Vegas was the
yeah.
Yeah, that was on. I think that was on
360. That was on 360, I believe.
Yeah, 360. Yeah, it was I think it might even been on PS3 as well.
Yeah, I think so.
But that was a really cool game because that came with like its own multiplayer.
Yeah.
And you could customize your characters. You can make him look as tactical as you want, or you can make him look as goofy as you want if you wanted. But yeah, obviously, well, we might as well continue talking about Rainbow Six. So, do you think, obviously, over the past years, now it's got to be what I can remember playing Rainbow Six 3 when I was about 5, 6.
Yeah.
So it's over 20 years.
Yeah,
easily.
I mean, I think the first one was on PS1. The original, Rainbow was on PS1 back in the day. Because I can remember the case. It's got the guy in the front, and it's got like a green outline. If I remember correctly. But yeah, it's been like Rainbow Six been going for many years.
Yeah.
And obviously with the recent one is Siege,
Yeah.
and obviously that done fairly well for the last 10 years. About 10 years now it's been going on.
Yeah, because that came out when I was in the army, and I'm 27, so it's got to be 11 years now.
Yeah, it's probably about 11 years.
Yeah. I can remember when that game came out because you had the trailer where they were in the helicopter and they were rappelling down onto the house. But also when the game came out, it was practically completely different to the trailer.
Yeah.
And I think Ubisoft is sort of like when we see gameplay trailers from Ubisoft, we sort of take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
And that goes with most AAA companies now, to be honest.
I mean, a lot of it's all the same. Like, it is just the same. Like when you had those Assassin's Creed, the early ones, 1 and 2, some of the best games made, I reckon.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the second one. I loved the second one, Ezio. Brilliant.
Ezio Auditore.
Then they released like Watch Dogs, which literally was Assassin's Creed, but reskinned. Just basically reskinned as a hacker.
Yeah, but yeah.
I remember watching the trailer and that, and I'm thinking, nah, when that first came out, nah.
Yeah.
I mean, just go and play Assassin's Creed is better. Even though the later editions were a bit iffy. I mean, Black Flag wasn't too bad. Like,
Black Flag wasn't too bad.
It was quite unique with his ship battles and all that. I think that's what sort of freshened that up, was having like the ship battles and all that fun stuff. But then you had Assassin's Creed 3, fairly stale. What ones you had? Unity. Unity was quite cool. You could actually
I never played Unity.
You could do co-op, so you can have you can have a couple of mates and just go around being Assassin's Creed and co-op. It was actually quite cool. It was another good idea. Then you had Brotherhood. That was follow on with Ezio. Then was it Origins? One where it's in Egypt.
Is that Egypt or
I'm pretty sure.
Got Egypt and you got Rome.
Yeah, because you got Odyssey. And I think Odyssey was in Greece, if I remember correctly. And Origins is in Egypt. And that's when they changed the combat style.
Ah, right. Okay.
And that's because obviously they made it more. How can I compare it to combat style? It's a bit like, say, like Last of Us combat style, sort of. It wasn't. It wouldn't look more like, because obviously back in Assassin's Creed 2, there's a lot of parrying. You can sit there and parry a lot of things, and because I remember you could have a shield in Origins and things like that. I never played Odyssey myself, but they sort of changed the gameplay aspect of it. Yeah, trying to obviously freshen it up, but to me, they should have stopped at Assassin's Creed 2 personally.
Yeah, because like my partner, she played a lot of Odyssey and she really enjoyed it, but she hasn't really played like the original Assassin's Creed, like Altair, and then you add obviously Ezio then in the second one. Now, the second Assassin's Creed by far is my favorite Assassin's Creed. I spent hours on there. I was role playing it, loved it, and like you said, with the combat system, with the parrying, when you did multiple parries and you managed to take out people without even getting hit, you felt like a badass. Yeah. You really did.
and it did take a little bit of skill and all, because obviously if you use a little timing, if you didn't time it right, I mean, you're going to die. But that's what I liked about it as well. It actually took a little bit of skill because you actually had to time the parries.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just get.
And graphically, it was stunning.
Yeah, for its time, it was obviously in today's age, it's probably not great, like, but for when it first came out, it was amazing. Like going around Italy, like Florence, Rome, all those sort of cities, seeing all the actual old buildings that are still here today.
Yeah,
and I mean, wonderful.
Yeah, no, the story was, for me, the story of number 1, it was great. For number 2, it was a hit and a miss for me because I loved Ezio's story.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a massive fan of Desmond's story. I didn't like the transition of going.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Yeah,
I was like, keep me in Rome. I just want to
keep you in the actual simulation itself. Because obviously, if people haven't played Assassin's Creed, it's all in a simulation.
Yeah,
and obviously Desmond is like an ancestor of Ezio.
Yeah,
and Ezio's his ancestor. So they use his DNA to go back in the past.
And I can't remember what that thing was called. to say it's Catalyst, but it's not that.
No, it's I can't remember either.
It's gonna bug me.
Animus, was it Animus, something like that?
Oh, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. But you go
Yeah.
in there, then you go back, and then you go back, say hundreds of years in Rome or ancient. The first one was Altair.
Mm.
Altair
Yeah,
was
I'll
the
tell
first.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the first one. Second one, obviously, Ezio. You're in Italy. Then in the third one, because I don't know if I should say it 'cause it's spoilers, but in the third one, you're not Desmond anymore. If I remember correctly, you're someone else because it
I
goes
can't
to
remember
obviously when the American West in the third one.
because I thought because Brotherhood was the follow up to number
Yeah,
2.
yeah, that was like its own separate spin off from two
Yeah.
because
I
it's
can't
when
remember the.
Ezio was older
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like Ezio was like one of the leaders of the actual Creed.
Yeah, because like the trailers for I think it was the trailer for Brotherhood. I thought that was a really cool
Mm,
trailer. You think because in the trailer you had Ezio climbing the tower. He meets that guy with a scar, and he's about to just push him off
mm,
this tower, and he just gets into this really badass fighting scene. Oh, it was amazing.
mm,
And then you had the iconic song, the "Run Boy Run."
yeah,
It was amazing. But yeah, I do miss the old combat system of Assassin's Creed, and I think it started to go downhill when um whatever came first in regards to Odyssey or Origins. I think it started to go a little bit downhill then for me personally,
yeah,
because I know people love Origins, I know people loved Odyssey, but personally to me, I think that was when it started to just take a dive because I played one, I played two, I dabbled in Brotherhood, and then the next Assassin's Creed I played was Valhalla.
mm,
Now, I love Nordic stuff. I'm caked in Nordic tattoos. I love it. So I thought I have to play it. And it was I couldn't tell if it was an Assassin's Creed game or like a Nordic Viking game, but done badly.
yeah.
I couldn't tell.
They try to make it open world and they like an actual proper RPG. They changed the
Yeah,
complete from like a linear story where we have like obviously it had a few side missions in it, but it wasn't
yeah.
like an open world RPG where you could go and like take towns and all
Yeah,
that
you'd see
sort of
towns,
aspect.
you had
They
stats.
tried to change it, but I don't think it worked. Because
No, I don't
I never
I
actually
don't
played
think it
it.
works for Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. I've seen people play it, but then a lot of people didn't finish the game because, and then
I
again,
didn't.
it gets stale. Because that type of game's been done time and time and time again, like with Far Cry's and like all those sort of games where you go in, take a stronghold, opens up the area. I mean, it's done it
Yeah,
1,000 times,
yeah,
but then trying to obviously break the mold, they just went with the mold and just went, oh, we'll do it this way, and it
yeah.
didn't really work out in my thing.
No, because like with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I thought because there was some really unique moments in it, and I think my favorite unique moment, and it was something so subtle. So it's when you play as I can't remember his name, your character's name, but
Mm,
you get introduced into the Assassin's Creed, the actual creed itself. So this individual is showing you how to do the leap of faith for the first time. So you jump into the hay bale, an absolute classic. If you don't move and immediately jump out the bale, if you just stay in there as soon as you land, the person that trains you is going, "Hello, are you dead? Oh my god, I've just killed the king.
mm,
Oh no, I'm gonna have to run to the village and all that." And
mm,
then you quickly jump out and you play like a little prank. I thought
yeah,
that was a really nice
mm,
touch. But the game overall, it's fun for the first 30 minutes to an hour, and then you realize this is just the game. You
mm.
can't progress until you've leveled up your character, you've leveled up your stats, and you leveled up your town hall. It's like a Clash of Clans,
All right.
but yeah,
Mm.
it's like a Clash of Clans, but graphically done better. And I personally didn't enjoy it.
No, that's it. I never really played it. Like, I
Mm,
remember I actually bought it second hand. I can always remember this. Paid 15 quid for a second hand from
mm.
a second hand GameStop. Come on, put a disc in my PlayStation. This didn't work. So I think I was saved on that part and then went back and got my
Yeah,
money back. But yeah, because literally when I put a disc in, just didn't work. well. I think I got saved from the gaming gods on that one.
Yeah, because I did like the collectible stuff to a certain degree. So you could get Mjolnir, the hammer.
Yeah.
You could get Odin's staff. You can get Odin's gear, but you can only have those items if you had Odin's armor. But it was a lot of start here, go all the way up there, defeat someone, do the quest, and come all the way back. And then it was a really tedious plan. But obviously, with the initial Assassin's Creed, one of the most tedious little side quests was collect 100 feathers. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it feathers or letters? I can't remember. I
Some
think
were
I might
feathers,
be
I'm
both.
pretty sure. Some were like feathers. I can definitely remember feathers.
Yeah. But it was cool though, because like in Assassin's Creed 2, you could collect the memorabilia and get Altair's outfit.
Yeah.
And you had the option then to customize
Mm.
your outfit, like with dyes and all that.
Yeah, you could even
Have
get
it
his
the way you
weapon
want.
as well, couldn't you? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah, you
even
can.
get his weapon.
Yeah, I like that aspect, and it's nice that it might take a little bit of grinding, but it's free. It's
Yeah.
free content. You don't have to pay for it.
Nope.
Another great series that Ubisoft did was Far Cry.
Yeah.
Far Cry 1, I didn't really play. Far Cry 2 was my first Far Cry.
Yeah, I remember playing Far Cry 2 on the PlayStation 3. I remember playing on. Great game.
It was phenomenal because you had the main story,
Mm.
and you had to like maintain your malaria tablets.
Yeah.
And all that, and like some of the animations of when you'd get shot or you would have some shrapnel in you. It was gruesome,
Yeah.
but it was cool.
Mm.
And then you had the like theater mode where you can create your own map.
Yeah, I remember that.
I spent countless hours on there trying to make my own perfect map, and I always ended up messing it up. What's out of all the Far Cries, which one do you think is the best?
I'd probably say 3. Just on the acting alone.
Oh,
like the villain Vaz, like,
Vaz, yeah.
His actual actor was insane. Like he took it to a next level. He made the game, and he wasn't even the main villain either.
No.
He was just like a head henchman for the actual main villain, but he sort of stole it.
Yeah.
And he took that like madman aspect and just completely knocked it out of the park and made it really interesting.
Yeah.
And like the whole game aspect of it is actually really good as well, because obviously you have the tattoo on your arm. And every time you got a skill, every time you got a level up, it went on your arm as a tattoo.
Yeah.
Because you went that part of that tribe that was going against all the obviously the madmen and that, which I thought was a really good like aspect to have, because you can actually see your level up and get a tattoo as it's going along.
And you could, and that's the thing, you could see the progression as well.
Yeah, and like the stealth aspect as well. The actual when you go to an outpost, you can choose to either go in guns blazing or have your bow. Because I remember you can have a bow.
Yeah.
And you just silently go and pick everyone through. Because when you got to the harder levels, you had those big guys in the armor, like the miniguns and all that.
Yeah.
And they were hard to take out. They were.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say 3 was definitely the best Far Cry. Just on the aspect as well, getting like the writing, the characters, all interesting, keeps you engaged.
Yeah. It was unique because if my memory serves me right, I think you play as like your typical American sort of holiday go guy. You're there with your mates and your brother. You go skydiving, have a laugh, and then suddenly you're captured and you're held for ransom. But yeah, for me, Vast stole the show.
Yeah,
Absolutely stole it. Like his most iconic line was like, "Do you know the meaning of insanity?"
Yeah, that's it.
Like, it was phenomenal. And even like some of the side missions were great.
Yeah.
Like when you had that guy in the really big white house and he's all into like what's the specific word for plants, like plant growth? Can't remember what the term is.
Well, it was like a herbalist, wasn't he? He was like,
that's
was
it,
like a herbalist because he looked like making up potions. Because I remember, because I think you take one of the women there, don't you? When you and like she's like not well, and he looks after her. Then you go off and try and find your other friends as well.
Yeah.
Because if I remember correctly, he's got the boat underneath and the
He's got the boat, yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously one of your friends is trying to fix it and all this sort of thing.
Yeah, I just thought he was really cool. and you obviously spoilers, but the game's been out for many years now.
Yeah.
So obviously, because you go up against, I think you go up against Vaz for the first. He's like your first major boss, in some sense, and then you go. I think it's after his sister, if I recall, and you can
Mm.
either join her or you can go against her.
Against her, yeah.
And there's that. If you do join her, there is a
Yeah,
little
there is.
cheeky,
Yeah.
a very generous scene.
Yeah, it's quite spicy. It's quite spicy.
Oh yeah. Um, but yeah, like again, another great game.
Mm.
And then you had Far Cry 4, which
Yeah.
was with something Ming, I think his name was.
Yeah. It was in the poll, I believe it was based.
Yeah. And I just thought when I saw the gameplay, I just thought that was Far Cry 3 copy and pasted.
Yeah.
I wanted something new.
Yeah, because they tried to make that Madman again, but they obviously, for the Far Cry 4 guy, wasn't as impressive as Vars was. And
No.
you could end the game in 10 minutes.
Yeah, you could.
At the beginning, because you walk, obviously, because you see him in the beginning, you talk to him. If you stay in the room for like 5 minutes, he walks back in, you can shoot him, kill him, and end the game. So
Yeah.
you can save like 100 hours of gameplay and beat it for 5 minutes, basically.
Yeah. And
But-
you do get an achievement for it. As
Yeah,
well.
you do. Yeah, I didn't mind it. It was alright. Again, it was just another copy paste Far Cry game.
Yeah.
And yeah, it wasn't as good as 3, but it was still like decent enough to play. Then obviously you had Far Cry 5, which was the one in America, and it wasn't that good. Like,
No,
I finished it, but
I finished it as well.
it was like I'm never playing that again.
Yeah. One Far Cry I actually did enjoy was Far Cry Primal.
Oh yeah,
I did
didn't like
enjoy
it.
that.
I didn't like it.
I enjoyed it to the point, and the only reason why I enjoyed it was because I invested so much time in trying to tame like the best animals, and I even named them. Like I had, I think I had a wolf, and I named it Teddy. Died within 10 minutes. I was like, oh, great, fantastic. But I did like the concept, but there was no story,
No.
like barely any story, if you want to call it that. But I did like the concept of sort of going back to that primal aspect. I thought
Yeah,
that was quite
it was a good idea.
Yeah.
But and again, executed poorly. Again, story. If you're gonna have a story-driven game, you gotta have a good story. So
yeah,
if it's not there, people ain't gonna play it. Like I remember, I think I played it for a couple of hours, and I'm pretty sure I had a bear. I'm pretty sure I tamed a bear, and then I stopped playing it after that.
yeah. And then you had now this one I haven't played because you had Far Cry 5, and then you had Far Cry 6, which was New Dawn or something like that.
No, Far Cry 6, and then you had Far Cry New Dawn.
Oh, right, okay.
Which was set after 5, if I remember correctly. And 6 was its own, and 6 was its own standalone.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was his own little standalone. Because you had 5 New Dawn, then 6.
Oh yes, 6 was it's in like that sort of Dominican Republic sort of.
Yeah, I think some.
Yeah. But they did have a very talented actor in that game.
Yeah, because he was in Breaking Bad, wasn't he? That
he was, yeah.
Yeah, I don't actually know his actor's name, but like his actual name. But
yeah, yeah, but I think his name in Breaking Bad was like Gus or something, if I can remember. But yeah, but again, I didn't play that one. I think the last one I played was Far Cry 5. I completed it, and I felt I achieved absolutely nothing, and I just wasted all that time.
Yeah, basically, I felt the same. Literally got to the end, and I was like, well, never playing that again. Never playing that again.
Yeah, no, it wasn't for me. But there's like a trend though with Ubisoft. So you had Assassin's Creed 1, fantastic. Assassin's Creed 2, even better. And then gradually going downhill.
Yeah.
Then you had Rainbow Six. Fantastic, really tactical gameplay. You know, you could easily make a mistake and it could end the mission and you would have to restart.
Yep.
And then Rainbow Six Siege, it's gone, you know, that has done extremely well for the lifespan it's had.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen on YouTube and online, it's decreasing again.
Yeah.
Because they had I can remember playing it and they had a major hacking problem.
Yeah, they did have a major cheating problem, and they even stopped. at one point, because on the console you could use mouse and keyboard, and people were moaning that people were using mouse and keyboard on console, because obviously it's no aim assist in Siege.
No.
Like, there is no aim assist. I mean, it's a flick shooter. You know what I mean? It's like one bullet. Obviously can win you a game. So people used to use mouse and keyboard on PlayStation, and obviously when you play that and you're using the controller, there's no competition really. When you're playing a game like that, reaction speed to a mouse and keyboard to a controller is, and like how accurate you can be. But they actually stopped it where console people couldn't use mouse and keyboard anymore.
Yeah.
Because you could just plug it into the PlayStation and use it. But they stopped it for that game specifically because they wanted people on console to use controller.
Yeah. And rightfully so.
Even though all the PC people were moaning about it. Because obviously, and then, yeah, they stopped it. I can always remember that. Then they had a big wave of cheaters. Like a big wave. It was a lot.
Yeah, and that's when they introduced Battle Eye, I think it was called.
Yeah,
and you see the names just get banned.
So many people got banned in that game. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously it got to the point then when the game was just unstable to the point where they said, right, this year we're not going to release any content. This is going to be the new chapter, Operation Health.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And it did break a few things. It did fix a few things, but it mostly broke. But yeah, at least they, attempted it. But yeah, I think it's on a steady decline now. I think they're starting to run out of ideas.
Well, that's the thing when it goes on for so long. And like, how many abilities can you have for certain operators that ain't just the same as the one released 5 years ago?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's only so much you can do in that sort of game. And it will get to a point, same as any other game, really.
It'll just
it just gets stale. Yeah, it will get stale. And then again, how many abilities can you have an operator do?
Yeah, no, exactly.
I mean, how many breaches could you have? You know what I mean, I mean, it's still the best one. Last time I played, it was still Thermite. Like, Thermite was the best hard breacher.
Yeah, I think he still is, probably.
He probably is, yeah.
So I know you got one called Maverick.
Yeah, he had the blowtorch, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
So you could burn a little hole in the wall and shoot something through it and that.
Yeah, and because what they did as well, they brought out not an attachment. You know when you can have like claymores or flashbangs, stuff like that. Or they had one that acted like Thermite's breach, but it didn't have nowhere near as a wide radius when it opens up. But at least you could still open up a hole big enough for you to enter.
Yeah, because a lot of people refuse to play any sort of breacher. Because I was a Thermite main. Because at night I had choice because no one played on our breacher. Me and my mate played Thatcher and Thermite. And that's all we played. Thatcher and Thermite. Because Thatcher was meta. You had to bring, because obviously Bandit, and you had the old Bandit tricking.
Yeah.
Then obviously, then they brought Maverick out. Then that countered Bandit tricking because you just put a hole in the wall and you shoot his feet.
Yeah.
Because obviously any good Bandit player knew how to trick. And for anyone that didn't know what Bandit tricking it is, so basically Bandit's got batteries, got a car battery, and it electrifies the wall. So you use to sit near the wall. Because what you just do before putting up the reinforcer, you shoot holes in the wall. So you can hear it clearer. Then you put the reinforcing up, then you sit there and wait. And as soon as you heard Thermite go up, put the thing up, you put the battery down. And if you've done it right, you'll destroy his charge. You had 2 of them, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, 2.
You could do it with Thatcher, Thatcher, but you had to time the MP perfect. If you didn't, done it too early, too late, it didn't work.
Yeah.
But then that's what Bandit tricking was, and then they bring out Maverick to counter it, in which you just put a hole, shoot him.
Yeah, but then they brought out Cade. That does the same as Maverick, but it's a throwable.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good game. I enjoyed it. I played it a lot when it came out.
I did as well, yeah.
A lot. I like 10 hours a day. I was playing it.
Yeah,
and he did a really good job of it. But then again, it just gets stale because what else can they do, really?
Yeah, they're constantly reworking operators. They're constantly reworking their ability. The guns, they sort of how much recoil should the Scar H use, this and that, blah blah blah. But like when I first started playing, the most overpowered operator was Ash.
Yeah, because she didn't make no noise. Because I can always remember that Ash made just blowing on the wall, and run in, but she was
Yeah.
so quiet, you didn't know she was in.
Yeah.
Because then the next bit you turn around, she's there in your face, and you're dead. And so how she get in? Yeah,
What's he doing?
Ash was like meta. It was like Thatcher Thermite Ash. Say Twitch, like Twitch with her little drone,
Twitch.
just about down people with her drone in there.
Yeah.
And who else used to be quite meta?
I used to love playing as Monty.
Yeah, Montaigne. Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
If you had a good shield player, it was
Oh yeah.
it was really nice having a good shield player. But a lot of people didn't really know how to use the shields
No.
because obviously you had Ultra Chunker, and Ultra Chunker was a meme.
He was Lord Tachanka.
Yeah, because obviously you just sit there in a turret, and then you just go above him and shoot him, or
Yeah.
below him, and someone to ping it, and then you shoot him. But they made it so he walks around with the gun, doesn't he?
Yeah, so he has that gun now as his main primary,
Mm.
and his ability now is like a grenade launcher.
Yeah.
But I think now with Rainbow Six Siege, they're leaning away from the tactical aspect of what he used to be, and it's more now action packed.
Yeah.
I do miss the tactical aspect.
Yeah, it was good. Because again, you had to have the right comp. If you didn't have the right comp, you wouldn't get in the building. Simple as.
Yeah.
And then you had your own little text in that where like, is it Chalet? The map. It's like the French map. It's a big house, and you had the garage. If you go up to the stairs, leading down to the garage, there's a window, and you can throw a C4 down there and kill. If they all stand there, you kill them all.
Oh yeah, but yeah, by the garage door with
Yeah. Like
with
thermite
one
will
of the
go.
objectives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you could
Yeah.
it's not text like that. That's what I loved about the game because
Mm.
you see all the different texts and things people come up with where to shoot through the
Spawn people and
walls.
all
And like specific
Yeah.
points where you can shoot through a wall and get kills and all that. I loved the game as well. It was brilliant.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, the game is still very popular,
Mm.
and it's still, like the pro scene is still going quite strong. But from what I've seen from content creators like Bikini Body, a massive Rainbow Six Siege content creator, he's getting burnt out of it now,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's just saying it's just becoming more stale.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think because Ubisoft used to be right up there with the AAA companies, right up there. But when you talk about Ubisoft now, it's a laughing stock.
I mean, if you look at like that game Star Wars Outlaw, that got really hyped up, underperformed massively. Because again, it's the same stale old stuff, and like that Skulls and Bones. Like,
Yeah.
I can remember
always like
seeing that. That was because it was like going to be the next Sea of Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
Because Sea of Thieves, especially on consoles, on the Xbox, so all the PlayStation lot was like, oh yeah, fine, we can have Sea of Thieves. From what I heard, you could even board people's ships.
What on?
Skulls and Bones.
I never played.
No, I never played it. Like I've seen people play it, and it just looked terrible. It looked like a worse Sea of Thieves. It was so lackluster. Like you said, you could even board people's ships. Like if you're having like ship fights and all that, you want to board each other. You know what I mean? But yeah, you can do it. You can do it. And
like,
that flopped.
Yeah, it did majorly flop. And but the thing is, though, they had like a really good boat system in Assassin's Creed 3, was it? No, Black Flag.
Black Flag.
Black
Yeah.
Flag. They had a really good boat ship combat. Really good. All they had to do was just use that, give it a few tweaks here and there, and have the ability to board.
Yeah.
Like I don't get it.
It's just they rush a lot of games because obviously they had a new Assassin's Creed coming out called Shadows, and obviously when I was doing a little bit of research, and that's been delayed because concerns about its quality. Like, obviously that's a good and a bad thing. It's not really here to get it out, but then again, they've probably been working on it for years already.
Yeah,
and it's just the same old. I guarantee that Shadows is going to be the same as every other Assassin's Creed. And no one's going to. That's if it comes out, and no one's going to play it, and they wonder why it's failing. Because again, they're following the same mold for like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Gaming's changed a lot now, especially like, when I was growing up. It's changed so much. Like the old games
Yeah.
that used to work, Assassin's Creed 2, don't work in this day and age anymore.
No, not at all. And yeah, it's just strange on how quickly and how far they have fallen. Because like with the new Assassin's Creed, obviously there's massive controversy behind it as well.
Mm.
Um, and I don't mind when a company says, "Look, the game is not ready. We thought it would be ready by this time. It's not. It needs to be in the oven more
Mm.
for it to bake properly." I don't mind that. I would 100% say yes, crack on then. If the game's not ready to come out, don't release it.
Mm.
Like, for example, Cyberpunk.
Yeah, that's
That game,
right.
that,
Yeah,
that game was not ready.
no, that's from the makers of Witcher 3,
Yeah.
CD Projekt, which
Mhm.
are a Polish company, I believe they are. Because The Witcher is actually Polish. It's actually done by a Polish writer.
Yeah.
And the Witcher 3, what a game. One of the best games of all time. Then, because then again, that goes to the investors wanted them to push Cyberpunk out. And CD Red said it's not ready. It's not
Mhm.
ready to go out. But they got so much pressure from their investors that they had to release it. And it was a complete failure. Like, it was so buggy. It was unplayable for most. And they, fair enough to them, they stuck with it for the last, 4 or 5 years now. They've been constantly updating it. Still today, they still update it. And now a lot of
Yeah.
people enjoy the game because
Yeah.
it's,
The game's in a good spot now.
yeah, it's a really good spot. But before, it was literally unplayable. People would get like 10 minutes in, they'd be too buggy, we're about to play it, and they took a massive loss on it
Well,
because
it
they had
was
to
like,
refund so many games.
yeah. Well, it was like, so I pre-ordered the game when it first came out,
Mm.
and because I was so excited to play it, and I got to this one section where, and I caused the bug. So I was on my way to an objective, and one of the little side objectives you can do, you can take pictures of like spray paint on the
Mm.
wall, and you learn the story of it. So I literally examined it on my way to the objective. So then did it, went to the objective, and I couldn't progress through the mission because I kept having a call regarding that wall paint thing, the graffiti. And I physically couldn't interact with the guy ringing me and the person I'm trying to talk to.
All right,
And
lovely.
it
Mm.
bugged the mission out.
Yeah,
So I thought I'll try it again, reloaded. I didn't realize at this point I was the one causing the bug. So I did the same thing, blah, 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 went in. And yeah, same thing happened. And I realized then it's because I'm doing this.
yeah,
So it's like, right, so I have to do the mission, which will lead me to another end of the map. I have to come all the way back just to examine that bit of spray paint.
yeah,
Um, but like now, the game apparently is phenomenal,
yeah,
absolutely phenomenal to play.
yeah. Because they had that
And
recent DLC, Phantom Liberty, and
yeah,
a lot of people loved that. Apparently, I'll just say
yeah,
I've never played it myself, but a lot of people really enjoyed it.
yeah. And like even when I was able to play it, the story was fantastic.
Mm.
Regardless, it was really, really good. But yeah, it was just unplayable, especially on console. Jeez Louise. It just wasn't
Yeah,
optimized. It really wasn't. Um, but yeah, it is sad to see Ubisoft go down because it's coming to the point now where, yeah, they are a company that they are still worth millions and millions, but their share price has plummeted like no man's business. It's
yeah,
ridiculously how
yeah.
bad it is.
Well, they've lost billions in their shares.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally billions, and they've had to close. They got one. They got a studio over in England,
Mm.
and they've had to close it, and had to
Yeah,
obviously let go over 100 odd people.
yeah,
Well, again, they can only blame themselves
yeah.
for trying to be too greedy again, like trying to not actually take time to make a new original game and just copy and paste. And in this day
Yeah.
and age, it don't work. It really don't work.
Because I think people like myself and you, like gamers all across, the world, is sick and tired of AAA games coming out half baked,
Yeah.
and we're paying them full price to
Mm.
play test their games.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. Like, a lot of it is DLCs or like microtransactions these days. So again, I sound like I'm old here, but back in the day when you used to buy a game, it was complete. It used to work straight off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
You put it in your PS1, PS2. it worked. There was no bugs,
Yeah.
there was no nothing. It worked. That was the main thing. You pay, like this day and age, back then, the games used to be like 20 quid, 15, 20 quid. Now they're 60, £70 for a standard edition.
Yeah.
And most like legendary editions, ultimate editions are over £100 these days. And say someone buys it, £100, gets it, don't work. You know what I mean? And like people paying that much money, you expect to at least be able to play the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or have like, the actual full content. But a lot of games go, oh look, the game's ended, but we're releasing a DLC to continue the story, and it's like,
Yeah.
like, because again, like back in the day, you played Resident Evil, we had the full game.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3. They didn't go like halfway through the game. Obviously, back then didn't have DLCs, but
Yeah.
just imagine you bought Resi 3 and you get to the end, say, oh, I want to see the ending DLC. Wait for it to come out. Give us another 15.
It would be
That's the thing as well.
bullshit.
Most DLCs cost the same as games now, like full
Mhm.
games, and it's like half a game, if that. It's literally half a game. You don't spend like 40, 50 quid on some DLCs.
Yeah, I don't get it because like me and you come from practically the same sort of gaming era where when you would play a game, everything would be in there, all the content would be in there, the game would be complete,
Mm.
and like especially with multiplayer games, you wouldn't have to pay for DLC. You would just grind and get the
Yeah.
unlockables for free. Um, and then when they started introducing the microtransactions, I think it took the grind out of it because people
It was
just
pay
thought,
to
oh,
win.
it's only
I
three
mean,
quid, 5
what
quid.
caused that was the biggest game was Fortnite. Fortnite was like the king of microtransactions. Because before
Mhm.
that, you had like little microtransactions here and there, but it wasn't as like on the lines of like Fortnite. If I remember correctly, Fortnite once was earning nearly 300 billion a week
Yeah,
of,
yeah,
of
it's ridiculous.
microtransactions. Because again, it's a free game. Also, they
Mhm.
still got to make money, but that's what sort of kicked it off, really. See how much money you can make off the microtransactions. And most games, again, say Overwatch, they throw it in your face as soon as you load the game up. Here's the battle pass, buy it. It's like, I've not
Yeah,
played the game yet, and you want me to buy the battle pass?
yeah. It's like FIFA as well. FIFA
Yeah,
is notorious.
yeah, on my
Like,
team, buying the packs and that.
and it's the same game every single year.
Yeah, 'cause obviously EA are known for being very greedy, very, very greedy. Because
Treating their colleagues like utter
yeah,
shit,
it's because
and then
obviously they publish like Apex,
mm,
and they don't make the game. Respawn develops it, but EA has final say, and
mhm.
like you can get a thing called heirlooms, which is like a unique sort of melee weapon you can get for certain characters.
Mm.
To get one, just one, is £180 when it's released.
Ah,
£180 for an heirloom because you got to buy 25 loot boxes, these specific ones, and
right.
it works out to about £180. And they
For
did one heirloom, and there is at least 10 now, I think, at least. And because they done a collab with Final Fantasy,
right,
and you can
okay.
get Cloud's sword, and that was a
All right.
unique one that could go on any legend. But that was about 300 quid, I think, if I remember correctly. That was about £300 for that
For
one. For Cloud's Buster Sword from Final Fantasy to go, and it could go on any legend. So it was about 300 quid for that. And don't forget as well, you had a battle pass on top of that.
doesn't even include the
And
battle pass.
well, that's the thing. They changed the battle pass, so they changed it in a way that it was like 2 parts. You could buy one part, then have to buy a second part.
So you have to buy it twice.
Basically, yeah. And they stopped. If I remember correctly, they used to give you coins back. I could be wrong. Someone can correct me. But they stopped it in the battle pass where you don't get your coins back. No, Dead by Daylight, where you buy the Riff or whatever, and
Yeah,
it gives you your Orc cells back. You used to do
yeah.
it in Apex, but they don't do that anymore, apparently.
That is sneaky.
But that's EA for you. They're so greedy. So greedy that.
But the thing is, though, there is people out there, and if you are one of those people, I am sorry, but how can you warrant an excuse to pay 300 quid for a digital item that you will never physically have.
Yeah.
And like, if it was a real life thing and you actually get the full
Oh, it's
size
sort
thing,
of, yeah, full actual sword from Cloud, 300 quid, yeah, why not? But
yeah, I would understand. But for a digital nothing, that when the game dies, that's it.
yeah,
You
that's
know,
it, yeah.
you're not gonna get
Yeah.
your money back. I can't understand. Like, don't get me wrong. I've bought battle passes. I've bought cosmetic items. You know, I think the most expensive cosmetic item I have ever purchased was I think it was a skin on Valorant,
Mm,
and it was for the Ghost. And I
yeah,
think that cost me like 25, 30 quid,
yeah.
something like that. I had some spare money around. I thought, oh, you know what? Why not? I don't mind microtransactions if I know I'm gonna spend countless hours playing this game. I know that it's got loads of replayability, and I want to invest
Yeah.
time and money into the game.
Mm,
Um, but like I don't get it. So like with EA with FIFA, my brother, Matt, like both my brothers love FIFA. I don't understand why, but they do. And every single year it's practically the same.
no,
The
it
only thing
is.
they do is update the
Mm,
stats for the players, and they spent God knows how much money on the FIFA packs and stuff like that.
yeah.
It's ridiculous, but it doesn't help with content creators promoting the packs.
I mean, yeah, they get
That
paid
doesn't
to,
help
but
it.
they sort of get paid to by EA, don't they?
Yeah, but it doesn't help the situation. Like, obviously, with companies, sort of buying out content
Mm,
creators in some sense. There was a story with Ubisoft's the Star Wars game that you mentioned. They asked like specific content creators to come to Disney World, have a look at Star Wars, have a lovely time, play the new Star Wars game, for free, and let us know your thoughts. But obviously, just do like a little
mm.
advertisement to say that the game is
It's
good.
good, yeah.
That's bribe. That's
Well,
grooming.
it's false advertising, and that's what it is. It's
It is.
because, like, obviously, a lot of people, if they get thrown a lot of money in their face, they ain't gonna say no. I like, but
Everyone has their price.
yeah, everyone has their price. I mean, I would say I
That's
wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. If someone sponsor us, EA will gash you up, but yeah, it's again, it's like, say go back to Apex, like what kicks I'd see. You can get a free heirloom,
Hmm.
but it's like a lot of people, because this is like a myth. Apparently, you got one in. You had to open 500 loot boxes, and then you're sort of guaranteed to get one.
Hmm.
But I've seen people literally do it on streams. They'll buy like 700, 800, and open all of them at once and not get one. Because a lot of people say, no, it's guaranteed after 500. No, I think that's definitely a myth, because I've seen like streamers do 1,000 loot boxes, or
Yeah.
800 or 500, and not get one.
Yeah.
Because I think there's like a 0.1 or 2% chance of actually rolling the heirloom shards or something. So
Gambling. That's like a sense of
well,
gambling.
it is, and it's such a low thing. You spend hundreds trying to get one, and like you said, when the game's died, because literally on Twitch, Apex is pretty much dead. Like, it's not really, but still in the commercial sense, it's still thriving. There's still hundreds of thousands of players playing it right now, but it's not a great way to earn money when you're like, you want this heirloom, you have to buy 500. Like, and they're not cheap either.
How much are the loot boxes, roughly?
Or I think one's a couple of quid. I think.
Is it for one?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's a couple of quid. I think it's like £3 or £4 if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Again, someone can correct me. But yeah, it was a couple of quid to buy one.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, if I remember correctly. So I ain't played Apex in a long time.
Yeah, because obviously he used to stream Apex back in the day.
I used to love the game. I used to love playing it, but once you see how greedy it is, like literally how greedy it is for skins and the heirlooms and all this, it's like, well, I ain't spending all this money on this. No way.
Yeah, I hate. I must admit, EA is one of the companies I do despise because it's not for the gamers; it's for their wallets.
And I suppose say like Siege from Ubisoft had a big cheating problem. So did Apex. Apex had a massive cheating problem. Like big cheater problem, and the old aim assist saga, which I've don't know if it's still going now, but
Mhm.
even like pro players would use a controller because the aim assist was that good. They'd use a controller instead of mouse and keyboard. Like it was strong. Like I can remember playing on the PlayStation, and say you was aiming like over here, someone would be here, it automatically go like that, and it's like yeah, that's quite strong. That's what like I think someone
Yeah.
done a survey out of 1,000 people playing Apex, and I think only like 10% of that was using mouse and keyboard. All the rest was all controller. Because essentially it's cheating, pretty much, because you don't need to aim.
Yeah, it
That's why
does
all
the
the
job for you.
that's why all the pro players do it, and that's why a lot of when you see a pro player use a mouse and keyboard, like it's rare, but they're out there.
Yeah,
Because usually most shooters you'd rather use a mouse and keyboard.
yeah.
Because
Normally it's more accurate.
yeah, but not in Apex. You're using a controller, which is quite mad in my opinion.
Yeah, because Ubisoft dabbled in that type of not hero shooter, but that sort of 6v6 combat thing. 'Cause they released a game. It was more recently than anything. I can't remember what it was called. I wanted to call it X Defiant, but it's not X
Yeah,
Defiant.
it sounds. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Because you got like because they got all different characters from different games that they've published, and they can all join like one team.
mm,
And I first played it, and I thought, oh, this is actually kind of fun. And I played like I don't know 3 or 4 games, and I played it on stream, and I realized how quick the time to kill is. The time to kill, and the amount of hackers and cheaters in that game was ridiculous. And that game was only out for like a week.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
stupid,
I think
and it was
it's.
already a meta.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's already. I think it's shut down now. Pretty sure that X Defiant. I think it's already shut down. So it goes to show the state of like both companies, basically.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a shame because obviously it is a shame because especially like Ubisoft, they made such legendary games back in the day.
Yeah, like childhood games of ours,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah, literally the old Assassin's Creeds and that. Growing up playing them, I mean, I love the old Assassin's Creeds and that, but then again, it's their own downfall. Again,
Yeah.
because like say talk about FIFA, like the new one, because they lost the license to call it FIFA. They're not allowed to call it FIFA anymore. It's called EAFC.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why it's called. Yeah, that's why it's called that because they're not allowed to call it FIFA anymore. But
Yeah.
even that underperformed massively. Even though it last year was in the top 10 most sold
Played
games.
games?
Yeah, played games,
Yeah.
and that underperformed by about 50%. So you can see the drop from like the previous title to that
Yeah.
title. And like,
Yeah.
if it drops by that much, because I think again they've lost money in shares, about 6 billion worth. When I was doing the research, I see about 6 billion they've lost in their shares. Because
Because for me, I've always, and this is going to sound bad, but for me, FIFA players have always been, I've always said they've been very narrow minded when it comes to FIFA. Because if it, like they play the same game over and over and over again, and they say, oh, we've introduced new technology, new this, new that. I'm just saying that it's the same game. It's
yeah,
buggy as anything. You got the ball morphing through players. You got players flying.
yeah. Again, like I played FIFA for 20 years, like since '98. Like
FIFA
probably
98 was my first game.
Yeah, FIFA '98, and probably that's probably for a lot of people watching was even born. And that FIFA had like indoor football, and it had actually I think pretty sure it was the first FIFA that had snow.
Yeah.
And you had the orange ball and that, and you had the free kit system, which was brilliant. Again, they introduced obviously indoor football, changed the game. The years go past, go past, as you said. Same old, same old. Because I was a career mode player. I played a little bit on bit team, but then again, I realised again money you got to spend to have the really good teams. Because you go against a team who's someone who spent the money and they have all the 5 skilled players do skills, you can't tackle them, they go and score and you lose 10-0. It's like, oh, cool.
Great.
Yeah, rather not. But
Yeah.
it just got so stale and it's the same thing. Like, I played it for 20 years. I ain't good for it. I haven't played, I think my last FIFA was maybe FIFA 20, something like that. Maybe FIFA 21, around that ballpark. And then again, same old, same old. This is what you said. What they should have done is what Pro Soccer's done now. They've made a free-to-play game, which they regularly update, and you can just do microtransactions. That's how they earn their money. They don't release a game for £60. Then say, oh look, now you've got to buy more packs for your ultimate team.
Yeah.
Pro Soccer done it a smart way. They made a free game, and if you want, because they got like a similar ultimate team thing.
Yeah.
But now the game's free, people play it and more willing to spend the money on the packs where you buy FIFA £60-70. Then if you want to build an ultimate team, you've got to go spend a couple hundred to get a really good team.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say hello to Tori, Mango. We got Kicks in chat as well. We've got Shiro. We've got Nikki as well lurking in the background. Thank you ever so much for your love and support. Also, thank you to the people on YouTube as well for your love and support. Yeah, because I think my last FIFA I can remember owning. I think it was either FIFA 14 or FIFA 12, and they had Wayne Rooney on the cover.
Yeah. I think that was
It
14. I think
something like that. Yeah,
I think so.
and but honestly, I think my favorite FIFA I've ever played has to be. I think the most fun was FIFA Streets.
Yeah, FIFA Streets was brilliant. Yeah, really
That
good.
was so much fun.
Yeah,
So much fun. And or FIFA 98. Only because I can remember beating because my family are massive Liverpool supporters, so I used to play as Liverpool going up against Man United, and used to do like a 10-0 game and show off to my family. Oh, look.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's so heavily paid to win, especially FIFA. If you're not willing to spend the money on not alpha packs, that's Rainbow Six Siege, on FIFA packs, you're not going to win any of your games basically. Because it doesn't matter how good you are. All that matters is how good the stats are for that
You
player.
get the informed players, and you get like the
Yeah.
team of the week players, and like you can shoot from halfway line there going. Because also the stats are amplified, and to do that you got to spend money. Because if you don't spend money, you can earn in-game currency. If I remember correctly, you can, but it takes a long time.
Yeah,
it takes a long time. Where someone could just go and buy some coins and save hundreds of hours.
Yeah, and again, it's like time saving. That's all it is. It's just time saving.
Yeah.
Because you got the other gaming company as well, the one that makes the basketball game 2K, is it?
Yeah, 2K. Yeah.
Because they literally brought out a pachinko machine for a basketball game. Like, why do you need a pachinko machine to play basketball? I can remember when it got that serious that it even went through like the legislation in the UK that if a game has those sort of mechanics like the loot box system or the pachinko stuff,
Yeah.
the game has to specifically say this game contains gambling.
Yeah.
Because it's against the law not to advise that in the UK because you got consumer rights and all that. But yeah, it's just I have a personal hatred for EA just because of how greedy they are.
Oh yeah, again, I've played FIFA for a long time. Then the career mode got like left in the dark basically, and they barely touched it, and they just focused on the ultimate team because obviously what earns the money, the career mode or the ultimate team, and all they've done was copy and paste it every year.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
And that's the thing. I don't think like EA is going downhill. I don't think they will ever be gone. Personally, I think they're way too big of a company.
I don't know. They've got a lot of games that are failing. But then again, that Dragon Age Felguard that recently came out.
Oh yeah, that's failed massively.
Because they published it, but didn't BioWare, who makes Dragon Age and made Mass Effect as well.
Yeah.
They felt the force of it because they had to let go of over 100 people.
Well, yeah, and BioWare is not what BioWare used to be.
No.
It's a new version of BioWare.
No. And like, yeah, because if a game does that bad, you have to let go of 100 people. And again, EA published it. They signed it off.
Mm-hmm.
And it flopped majorly. And then again, BioWare suffered for it. But I think if EA keep going on this path, one, they're going to run out of other developers making games for them.
Yeah.
And then again, like EA FC underperformed 50% last year. So
That is crazy though. Like 'cause
yeah,
that's like for me, like I would assume FIFA or EA FC, whatever it's called, that's got to be their main
it
source
is.
of
It
income.
is
It
because
has to be.
they only make 2 games. It's FIFA and Madden.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all they make, from what I can know. But
Mm.
and they publish a lot of games. They do publish a lot of games. But
They have published some great games.
mm,
Don't get me wrong. Like you had what Dead Space.
yeah, Dead Space 1 and 2, 3
Um,
was
3. We don't
3.
talk about
3. I don't assist 3. I don't assist.
Yeah, that was horrific. Yeah, because you had obviously Mass Effect.
Yeah, Mass
You
Effect
had
1, 2, and 3 were good.
I've only played Mass Effect 2. And well, when I say I played it, I watched an old friend of mine play it because he showed me that you could have spicy scenes with a blue woman. I was
Yes.
like, oh, fair enough.
Yeah, you can have a lot of spicy scenes in Mass Effect.
Yeah. Oh, Wiser said they make golf games as well and Formula One games.
Oh, do they? I've never played them, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I've
No,
never,
I'm not into golf
No.
or Formula
no,
One.
I've never bought one, so I wouldn't know. But
Yeah. But yeah, like also, I love Dead Space. Dead Space 1 and 2, phenomenal games.
Yeah.
Even like the remaster, they've done really, really well. Because they also, if I'm right, they also published Battlefield. I think it was 3 and 4, and even the newer ones. I believe
think
they
so.
still publish.
Yeah, I think so.
Battlefield 3, great game. Battlefield 4, when it came out, it was one of the worst games in known to man. It was a horrific mess. After I think it was like a year and a half, 2 years of sort of fixing it, one of the best FPS shooters around. It was the lead competitor against Call of Duty. Obviously, they've always had that sort of competitive nature. I personally prefer Battlefield because it's more realistic and you get to destroy buildings.
Yeah.
But yeah, EA is going downhill. I'm not denying that they are going downhill, and I didn't realize how bad EAFC is. That what it's called?
Yeah,
EAFC?
EAFC, yeah.
Yeah, I can't get over how bad that has done last year. 50%.
Yeah, it underperformed by 50%, and again they lost billions on it. And again, what can they do? They're all going to do this year because they usually release a new FIFA in September. That's when it usually gets released. It's going to be the same thing. Then that'll probably underperform even more. Then eventually, EA probably will go under. I think they've dug they've dug their own grave pretty much.
Yeah,
by being too greedy. Because obviously the loot box systems in nearly every game. It was Ultimate Team, Apex Legends, blah blah blah. I think Ubisoft could come back if they release a brand new, fresh game. Like fresh, break the mold, and release an outstanding, but it have to be an incredibly great game. Because even like people now like sort of staying away from Ubisoft. They see a Ubisoft game, they go, "Oh, maybe not," because it's Ubisoft. You know what I mean? I've seen loads of people say, it's a Ubisoft game. No, I'm good. Because they've got that reputation now. They have that reputation. Same as EA. They've got that reputation. So a lot of people stay away from them.
Yeah.
So for Ubisoft to come back, they'll have to make something incredibly special to draw people back in.
I think because Ubisoft evidently, because a lot of people have left Ubisoft. I know like their lead, I think I can't remember his name, but one of their lead game designers had left, and that was only a few years ago. Same with EA as well. But I hope that Ubisoft does make a comeback. I really do, because they have made some of my childhood games. And like you said, what they need to do is take a break. Take a break from pumping out Assassin's Creed just to get that quick buck. They just need to take a CD Projekt Red. They don't release a game every year or every 2 years or every 3 years. Rockstar, they don't release a game every year. They spent years and years.
When did GTA 5 come out?
God, like what,
10 years.
2013?
It was like 10 years ago. 11 years ago. And GTA 6 is coming out, and because it's got that much hype, when that gets released, it's going to break every record.
Oh,
There is.
100%.
Every record. It's going to be probably the biggest selling game of all time.
Mm-hmm.
GTA 6. Same as like CD Projekt Red. They got the next game's Witcher 4.
Yeah.
And everyone's excited for it because it's Witcher 4. Everyone's, even though they had the, obviously with Cyberpunk, but they made the amends for it.
Yeah.
They put their hands up, said, "Yep, it's our fault. We'll fix it." And have they charged anyone for it? No.
Nope.
And they've released one DLC since it's been out.
Mm-hmm.
They've gone out their own hands and fixed the game and say it's our fault. Let us fix it. People forgive them because now it's a great game. People enjoy it. And now you've got Witcher 4 coming out, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, Witcher 3 was just...
Yeah.
Mwah.
Perfection. It was such a good game. Such a good game.
It was.
Yeah. But I reckon Ubisoft had to try and... But then you got Witcher 4 coming out. And they got to try and match that or better that to make a comeback, basically.
I don't think they will have the resources for it.
Nah.
But I think the way they could go around it is like even a lot of the indie developers, a lot of their games, like because obviously with the whole AAA games companies that's just releasing half-baked crap, a lot of people have gone into the indie game industry of games that game developers have been less heard of, but then their sales skyrocket.
Well, like, if you take like indie company again, like Phasmophobia, made by one person.
Yeah,
one person made that game and it skyrocketed. I mean, everyone loved it, and it's still played a lot to this day. And one single person made that game.
Yeah,
and he done better than a multi-billion-pound company.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because it was made, I'm going to sound really corny here, but it was made with passion and with the intent for players, not for money.
No, that's right.
And I think, like with Ubisoft and EA, that's all they think about is money, 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 money. But the money will naturally come in if you bring out a product that the gamers will love, enjoy, and invest in. Yeah. Like a personal favorite game developer of mine, Bethesda. That's another topic. They used to be up there. They've plummeted down now, and Bethesda and Ubisoft are very similar with their games in regards to they use the same stuff, or they try and create something new, but on an existing engine.
Yeah,
and it's something that's really outdated. They just both of them need to take a step back, just take a deep breath, take your time in developing a game that's not thinking about your wallet. Just from the inside, think, you know what, I would actually want to play this game when I come home from work.
Yeah, that's what they've done with like Elder Scrolls 6, which is coming out in 2028. And I mean, the last game they had Elder Scrolls Online, but from the actual main series was Skyrim, and that come out in 2011.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So they've took their time with this one. Because I can always remember Skyrim when it come out. They said, "I see that mountain. You can climb that."
Yeah.
Go away. You can climb it. There's a lie.
No.
They lied about a lot of things, but then again, Skyrim, even though they lied about things, Skyrim's still an amazing game.
Oh, it was a great game.
So they got away with it by having a great game, pretty much. They had a great game, and hopefully when Elder Scrolls 6 finally does come out, because again you had Fallout 4 as well recent. That's probably the most recent one with Fallout 4, and that broke records. That did when it first came out. I think I earned, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, about 750 million in the first week or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. It was insane. Because I can remember seeing, because back then, people used to buy hire copies of queues of people waiting.
Oh, yeah.
Because my mum used to work for Tesco's, and she used to be head of that sort of department. And then our Tesco's was quite small. She had a queue of people with pre-orders. She only gave 6 copies. She only had 6 copies to give out. So she had to turn down a lot of people. Yeah. But again, that was Tesco's fault, and obviously not Bethesda's. But But again, when Elder Scrolls 6 come out, that'll break records because people want to play it. Now Ubisoft release a game, everyone's like, "Oh, right, Ubisoft, let's not play that."
But that's the thing, like with Bethesda, because they released Fallout 76.
That's
they
awful.
released,
yeah,
and they released Starfield. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, Starfield.
And both extremely underperformed.
Yeah.
But it's their own fault now because with Elder Scrolls 6, everyone is going to be nitpicking it.
Yeah.
And rightfully so,
Mm.
because like I am a humongous Fallout fan,
Yeah.
and I can see obviously you've got Fallout Boy at the back.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. We expect, like, especially with Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4, if we see a bug, we just go, "Oh, that's Bethesda."
Yeah,
It's,
it's
it's the charm
fine.
of it.
Yeah.
It's the charm of it.
Mm.
But like now, because they've kept bringing out games that's half baked, charging full price for us to play test a
Mm.
game. When Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, everyone's going to be there with a magnifying glass, nitpicking it,
Yeah.
and it's going to be same for Ubisoft for their next big game.
Well, that's the thing with, say, Fallout and Skyrim. What they do, they release the game buggy mess, and it's the modern community that fix the game.
Yeah,
It's literally they don't fix the game for you. They go,
No.
the modders will do it, and they do it. They
Yeah.
do mods so you can have quality of life and all that sort of thing. So the modders really save the games.
Oh
of
yeah,
them
100%.
by fixing it for them, and they know people are going to do it, so they just go, yeah, they'll fix it. Maybe because I've still got a few years before Elder Scrolls 6 comes out. See what that's like. I'm definitely going to play it because, again, I'm a massive fan.
I'll play it.
I'll
Yeah.
definitely play it, but and see what it is, see what happens with it, and hopefully it's not too bad because it will have bugs because it's Bethesda. It's going to have bugs.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's good. That's the main thing. I hope it's playable.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I don't mind bugs, because nothing is ever perfect. But if there's like groundbreaking bugs to the point where you physically can't progress
Yeah.
or you can't play the game, then that's when, we're going to have an issue. But yeah, and even like with Ubisoft and EA, they have some groundbreaking bugs in their games. And I don't mind a little bug, little glitch here and there because it happens. Again, no game is perfect, but when it's the same bug over and over and over again, and you can physically see it, it's an eyesore.
Yeah, and sometimes as well, like Apex. Sometimes there'll be bugs from the game for like 6-7 months.
Yeah,
even though I know they publish it, but they still got the final say on what happens with the game.
Yeah,
because Respawn don't own the game. I'm pretty sure. I think EA does.
Oh, do they?
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but like Respawn Entertainment develop it, but the final say is EA, and that's why you pay £180 for one heirloom because it's EA.
I think that's ridiculous because especially in today's day and age, where everything is increasing in price and everyone's wages are staying the same.
That's the
how
main
can
thing,
you have the balls to say, you know what, if you want this pretty little thing,
basically what they're saying, do you want a week shopping or do you want a heirloom? Basically, that's what they're saying.
And that's the thing, because with the younger generation, when they're just earning their money, earning their paycheck, they don't really have a real concept of money and bills and stuff like that. They're going to go, yeah, I'm going to brag to my mates like I own this heirloom, but now I can't eat for a week.
No, yeah.
Like, it's just...
yeah.
Honestly, microtransactions to that certain degree, it does rile me up because you can't warrant it. You physically
But
can't.
that's the thing, people pay it though, and they get away with it. They can set it to £500, which League of Legends did for one skin, a Faker skin. Don't get it wrong, Faker's a legend in League of Legends history. But he had a unique skin come out, and to buy it was £500. And in the first week, they earned $1 million from that one skin. People bought it. That's £500 for one skin. So they did give you a free skin. Right? They did give you the base version of the skin for free.
Right.
And the £500 one was this prestige one, and you can have like a border or a background with Faker's signature on it, with a different skin for Ari. But then again, it was still £500.
You could buy a little runner for that, a little car to get you point A to point B.
So yeah, it's but then again, people they earn like £1 million in the first week. So why wouldn't they not do it? That's the main thing.
Yeah, like from a business point of view, obviously.
Yeah, why wouldn't you do it?
Like, oh, yeah.
And obviously, League of Legends is massive. Like, and at a given point, there's over 1 million people playing it. So
yeah,
and it's all around the world. So yeah, from a business point of view, why not? No.
Yeah, but it doesn't help then when you got people that will actually buy it,
Mm.
because it's those people then when they buy it and the company sees the sales go up and they're looking at the charts and it's going up, they're thinking, oh, we'll make another one then, and
Yeah.
we'll make another one, and
Mm.
it just keeps going, and it's ruining the experience. Then, like Fortnite, as soon as you log in, boom, battle pass,
Yeah.
boom, cosmetics. I just want to play the game. Can I
Yeah.
just play the game?
Well, I just remembered actually, I got that wrong back legally. It was a LeBlanc skin they gave for free, and the base
All right.
Ari skin was 50 quid. Yeah, 50 quid.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, it was 50 quid. And obviously, LeBlanc was like one of Faker's first like legends because he's a mid
Yeah.
laner. That's what he's known for, mid lane. And like LeBlanc said, and like Ari was like what he's known for. And so yeah, the base Ari, even the base Ari skin was £50, which
Yeah.
for
That's still a
one
lot
skin,
for a
for
skin.
one skin,
Yeah.
it's quite
Still
a
better
man.
than 500, but yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah,
still a lot.
but if you
for...
wanted the prestige one, it was £500.
Oh, it was £500.
Yeah, for the prestige one, yeah, for the actual Faker one with the thing, it was £500. Then if you just want the base skin, it was 500. Oh, it was 50 quid.
That's ridiculous.
Mm.
That really is. Oh, let me unplug this. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's freeing. But yeah, I don't get EA and I don't get Ubisoft, and they really need to. Pardon my French. They need to sort this shit out.
Well,
They really do.
that's the thing. They don't listen to the player base. Like, one of the best companies I've seen is Grind and Gears, who does Path of Exile.
Hmm.
They listen to their community. Like, if you pay PoE1 and you bought extra inventory, it carried over to the second game. You didn't have to buy it again.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't have to buy it again. It carried over. So
See, EA would have charged you double.
Double, yeah. They would have charged you again for the extra storage. But yeah, so you bought the extra storage in because you do have a limited space, so you can buy more storage. But in the second game, it carried over, which I think
It's really good.
yeah, because they could have charged again if they really wanted to.
Yeah, and people would still buy it.
Oh
They
yeah,
wouldn't think twice.
because you do need it because you get so much gear. You do need it. But they said no, we'll just carry it over so you can have it for free, pretty much.
I think that increases the player base then again.
Because the game's not fully out yet. PoE 2 is not fully out.
Oh,
You could-
beta, or...
You can it's early access. You buy it for £25, and when it's fully released, it'll be free.
Oh, that's good. Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about that. Yeah.
It'll be free when it's fully released. So even it's going to be a free game. If you had extra storage in the first one, you can carry it over.
That's really good.
No, fantastic. I think.
If only like with the Call of Duties, for example, Modern Warfare, like all the goofy ass skins. If only they would transfer them over to the next game.
Yeah, it's Activision, though, isn't it? Activision, yeah. Not talk about Activision for a while.
Yeah, they are basically EA for COD.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Like Activision, like I can if my memory serves me again, I swear Activision used to make the WWE games back in the day.
Pretty sure.
I'm deadly sure they did.
Pretty sure that's a long time ago. I can't remember, but pretty sure they did.
That was like peak gaming. That was.
Oh, that was great. That was great. The old ones. Brilliant.
Yeah, but I honestly, I think Ubisoft and EA, you need to take a step back, take a breather, take a break from publishing and creating games. Just come up with a plan to win us all back. Because we don't mind if you bring out a game that's worth like 50, 60 quid, okay? As long as it's well polished, all the content is there, and then boom, you're laughing. Because you bring in the player base and the player base is happy, that's where the investment comes in, and the money will just naturally go up. If you have upset players, you're gonna lose money. It's common sense.
Or if you want you to sponsor the podcast and we'll gas you up that much, we'll bring you back your player base.
Yeah,
because we got that pool, so
we got that pool. Oh, jeez. But yeah, I'm just wondering if that was Acclaim. Oh, that was Acclaim. Ah, right, okay. I thought it was Activision for the WWE.
Honestly, I've played it 20 plus years ago.
Yeah.
My last actual wrestling game was years ago.
Yeah. Oh, I always thought it was Activision. Oh well, it is what it is. But yeah, do you have anything more on EA? You know, because they have sort of sacked off a lot of employees.
I mean, it comes
Um,
with the territory in it. If you're losing money,
you're gonna have to make room.
you're gonna have to get rid of your staff. And it comes with it, and it's
Yeah.
their decisions. But again, it's not actually EA staff. It's like BioWare. Like BioWare lost a lot of staff. They're the ones that are suffering.
Yeah.
But Ubisoft had to get that again. They're closing a studio in England.
Yeah.
Because not making the money. You're not making the money. You can't keep up. So if they keep going the next couple of years, they'll both be gone. They won't be
Do you think?
companies anymore. Yeah.
Well, I think Ubisoft will go before EA. Personally, I think they will go before EA.
It depends. It depends what they come out with, but it's not looking good for Ubisoft. It really ain't.
Yeah.
Because they got that reputation now. When people see a Ubisoft game, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe not.
Yeah.
And to beat that, they have to bring out something incredible. But
Oh, they would.
I don't think they would.
No, and like I did laugh as well when Skull and Bones came out.
Mm.
They had to go at the gamers for criticizing it so badly.
I mean, if the game ain't good,
yeah, because they said they were unfairly judged and unfairly criticized.
I mean, the player base is your best critics. I mean, they ain't gonna lie to you because they paid money for it. So
yeah, and that's another thing as well. Crimson brought up Anthem.
oh,
that
that's
was
awful.
that was supposed to be like the next best thing. The amount of advertisement they must have spent on that.
I can always remember there was a bug in that game that caused people's consoles to crash and break.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I stopped playing it. I played it for a little bit because it's a bit like Destiny-ish. It was like sort of Destiny style sort of games. Playing it, me and my mates, and I heard there was a bug that could literally break your console. So I was like, yeah, no, never playing it again. Never did.
Yeah, I don't
and again, it was quite bad anyway.
Yeah, because I thought the concept of it was really cool, really cool, and I think I played it for about 20 minutes, and I thought the flying mechanics kind of cool, you know.
Yeah.
But then I just got bored. I got bored instantly. It didn't capture me at all. But yeah, that's a game Anthem because the amount of advertisement.
Yeah, it was everywhere, wasn't it?
It was almost as on par when like peak Halo was out. Because that Halo back in the day used to be everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I haven't got much anything further really to discuss. Have we got anything, Metal?
No, I think that's good. I think we pretty much covered everything. I think it's not much more we can add.
Yeah, unless we sort of go deep diving into like certain individuals within EA and Ubisoft, I think.
But they'll turn into like a 4-hour episode, and
yeah, that's gonna bore everyone.
And yeah, we're not sponsored, so
yeah, we're not sponsored. Bloody hell. Oh yeah, just before we go, Crimson brought up another good point. Ubisoft saying that Skull and Bones is the first ever quadruple A game. I remember that comment.
All right, yeah.
I remember that. If that's going to be the future of quadruple A games,
then the gaming industry is done.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that's like the ballpark, that's what's going to be. Then yeah, the gaming industry is done.
Because honestly, I think the gaming industry is going to have another crash in a couple of years' time. I think because you had the gaming. I think you had the games crash back in it was either the 90s or the 80s. I think it was, and that was quite bad. Obviously, I wasn't alive back then, but for the people that know about it, you know how bad it was. But yeah, I think we sort of scheduled for another gaming crash. I think
probably.
I think that's going to come relatively soon.
Don't worry, League of Legends will get us through. That's a joke. Don't play League of Legends. Don't do
But yes, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Obviously, thank you to everyone in the Twitch chat as well. Obviously, we are live over on my channel, Royal Watch TTV. But obviously, the VOD will be published by Metal Magic over on the Skill Issue podcast. So please tune in to watch. This is our 5th episode now, isn't it?
Yeah, fifth one.
Yeah, 5th one. Yeah,
Mhm.
like halfway to double digits.
Mm-hmm,
Ooh, we'll have to have an anniversary episode now.
We can go on a date or something.
Yeah, oh, like a hot tub thing.
Get the latex out.
Oh yeah. Also, just before we go as well, next episode, we're going to dabble in some Q&A. So if you do have any questions for us, please drop them in the comment section below of the video, or you can join the Discord and you can put your questions into the Discord, or you can privately DM me or Metal. Entirely up to you. But yeah, until then, take care, look after yourself, and we'll catch you all on the next one.
Toodles.
Toodles.